Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build for the Mystic's new subclass, the Order of the Faceless, from the Mystic class made by Xhevo here, which you can also download the Mystic expansion here to get the new subclasses. I'll be covering the other new subclasses in the future, but want to do the Order of the Faceless, which has some pretty cool mysticism and psychic glamour-like abilities. So with the psychic glamour, you can reshape yourself into replica of various exotic creatures. We got a lot of other fun things with this build. It'll be level 20 as well. Now, for the Psionic talents here, I like to go with the Mind Slam, knocking a creature prone, as well as Mind Thrust, which can do a 1d10 of psychic damage. Those are pretty strong. We also got Psionic disciplines here, and so we get to choose one and then one from the subclass. So I went with the Celerity here. So this one's really good because it gives you the Surge of Action. This is a 5 side point cost, but it's a bonus action surge. Huge. You can use this all the time. Very powerful. We also get bursts of speed, giving you disengage. You can turn invisible. You get advantage on dexterity saving throws, increase your movement speed with a rapid step, and then also increase your movement speed by 3 meters. It's pretty good. I also went with the Psionic or the Psychic Assault here, which I think is really powerful and thematic to this. So you get a +2 bonus to damage rolls with Psionic talents. We get the Sonic Blast here, which does 1d8 of psychic. We got the Ego Whip, which does 3d8, and it prevents the target from disengaging or hiding. We also have the Ida Insinuatum, which does a 5d8 of psychic damage and makes it so that they can't take actions except for melee attacks. So pop this on a caster, they're done for. We also get Psychic Blast here, which does an 8d8 of psychic damage, and then the Psychic Crush, which can stun creatures, and if its target's stunned, they lose their turn. You can also go with like the Mastery Time, which gives you acceleration zone, so you can haste your whole team. Any really of the masteries, if there's other spells you like to go with those. It's about your own player enjoyment, but I think that those two are very strong. Now, as for stats, I think it's best to obviously build around both dexterity and intelligence with a bit of constitution here. This is going to be the ideal stat spread. You can swap dexterity with constitution. It'll lower your armor class but increase your health. It's been a while since I did a Mystic build, but I love this class. It is a bit overpowered, so I recommend using Tactician Enhanced, Nightmare difficulty. There's also some other difficulty mods, like a harder honor mode mod that just released on console and PC. Mystic Recovery. So after spending side points, you can use a bonus action to regain health points equal to 1 plus half your Mystic level. Telepathy, you can read minds, so you detect thoughts. And Sonic points, you gain 2 Sonic points, which recover on long rest. Sonic points are our ability to cast spells, and you can burn through them quickly with some powerful ones. We also get to take another Sonic talent at this level. I like the Sonic Hammer to push or pull a creature, although the Mage Hand Mystic Hand's nice, or Energy Beam, because you can choose the elemental damage type. As for Sonic disciplines, this again is dependent on what you want to go with. So we also get our actions reshape into either we can go into an Eder Camp, which is a spider, the Hook Horror, which can pounce at targets and bleed them, and the Red Cap, which can enrage and bleed enemies. We also could take the Mastery Time. The acceleration zones are good, but you get the Borrowed Time here, which is kind of good. Target yourself an ally to become hastened, so that gives you +2 in armor class. You become lethargic for 1 turn afterwards. If you need a burst of damage to finish off an enemy, this is a good way to do it. However, you become lethargic and lose your next turn. So yes, you get an extra action, but it's at a cost. Early game option. And thematically, I think that the Psychic Disruption works well here, so we can get ourselves advantage in deception checks. A 1d10, reducing the target's visibility. This is huge, makes them almost blind. Incapacitated the target with the Daze ability, so they are taken out of combat for 2 turns. And Mind Storm, which does 68 of psychic damage and gives disadvantage on saving throws until the end of your next turn. That is really good. Disadvantage, don't have to explain why that's so good. It just really messes up their flow. Level 4 gives us the Strength of Mind, gain proficiency in a saving throw of your choice. Wisdom saving throws are great. We'll take our intelligence up to 18 at this point, and you can also go with the alert feat. At level 5, we get the amount of side points you can spend at once up to 5, so this really ups our abilities. We also get the Reshape Minotaur, so we can turn into a Minotaur and a Holophant, which is like the little elephant that you see earlier in the game. And we also get to take another version of a Sonic discipline. The bestial form actually makes a lot of sense here. You can swipe at them with claws. Alter your physical form and gain beast-like abilities, although we do have our other transformations. So the Mastery of Life and Death can be nice to be able to heal and keep your team alive while also doing a bit of damage. So this can be pretty effective. I also like the Psychic Distortion. If you're going to buff up your team, this can apply Mirror Image to everyone nearby. So it's +9 to their armor class. You can give everyone greater invisibility, illusionary copies of themselves. I like this one just because we can shapeshift, and I think all 3 of these actually work well together. But again, with the Mystic, take what you like to use. You can view over all the different abilities. We get Expertise in Deception and Performance here as your subclass feature. In Fluid Form, at the start of combat, you can reshape without using an action. That's really cool. So big buff here, level 6, being able to cast that without really impacting anything. Now we can turn into a cloaker here, so summon phantasms and conceal enemies, and it gets 54 health to start, or to blight, which can construct enemies and pull them closer. We also can spend up to 6 psi points, and we get another psionic talent here with the Intellect Fortress is a pretty cool one. When you're about to get hit with an attack, you can force the attacker to reroll its attack, and if it misses, it deals damage. I like this one. There also is there's over 64 of these here. Some of them can give you reactions. We don't have one, so this is actually a good one that I recommended here. Gain advantages or gain bonuses to our saving throws per psi points spent. So 2 different abilities here to protect ourselves, and then the psychic readout. Nearby allies gain resistance to psychic damage and advantage on all mental saves, which is huge because we can get use the resonance stone now, which will double our psychic damage. We also deal additional 1d8 of psychic damage when you hit an enemy with a weapon attack. My recommendation, use an offhand crossbow because that'll apply that extra damage. And we get to take a feat, which I'd recommend, boosting our intelligence. And once we make our way to level 9 here, we get up to 7 psi points. We can turn into a spectator or an orphan now, which is pretty cool. And another psionic discipline, which the Mantle of Courage is a pretty cool one because we can use this to give 6 teammates an extra action on their next turn, which is massive. It's actually really good. Then we can also give temporary health points if they go down, which is nice, basically a free death ward. And advantage on Frighten. That's not a bad choice here as well. Into level 10, we get to more psionic points. We can sum to power tapped in your light force. We're gaining 7 psi points, reducing your health points by 7. Use as a last ditch resort. Light step, alter your weight. This is a cantrip increasing your movement speed by 3. We also have other options that can increase our movement speed. I like the energy beam though. Getting to choose an elemental damage type is nice as a cantrip. Level 11. Allows you to cast a Psionic Discipline as a free action without expending any psi points, and that's a Psionic Mastery charge. So yeah, pretty powerful as mentioned. Level 12 gives us another Psionic Discipline here, and Precognition can give you an increase to your initiative, which is basically applying the alert feat to your entire team, which is pretty cool. The Transcendent form is also pretty cool because you get the Spectral Arms here, but it doesn't really fit well within this build. I also like the Mastery of Nature. It just feels almost thematic here too. You can make a massive entanglement restraining targets, and then you can go into your wild shape and attack with them. Increase armor class by 2, and attackers will take piercing damage. So you can buff up your team pretty nice with this. We also get another feat at level 12. We'll take the alert feat, +5 initiative, make sure we go first. I also like to use the D20 initiative mod with this. We also get another Psionic Mastery charge so we can cast our powerful abilities. And level 14 gives us a subclass feature, Identity Theft. Once per short rest, when an enemy creature dies near you, you can use a reaction to absorb its lingering essence, granting you 20 temporary health and allowing you to use Psychic Glamour without expending an action or psi points. Kind of like the ability you get from the Staff of Cherished Necromancy almost. Psionic Strike now is boost up to 2d6 or 2d8. Again, use your offhand crossbow to proc that. Mastery of Time for that acceleration zone is hard to give up because you can apply haste to your entire team. Again, I recommend going through all the different psionic disciplines and finding one that you like best. Next level, I think it's good to go with the Tough feat, which will give us a 40 extra health, 2 per level. So at level 20, that's 40 extra health, quite a bit of extra survivability. Also going to take another cantrip here. Mystic Hand's pretty solid. And then we also get another Psionic Mastery charge for a free cast. We become really strong. Level 18 gives us another Psionic Discipline with... I think this is a good time to add in some healing spells. So we got things like the Psionic Restoration, which can revive teammates, cure from blindness. You can also heal them and upcast with more Psionic points. That's a decent choice if we want to cover some more options. We can also, if we want to be more of a melee attacker, we can go with some of these options here, but I don't think this fits well within this. Nomadic Kinship will give you some bestial companions, which are pretty fun to use. So I think that one can work well because we can shapeshift as well. Level 19 gives us another feat. You can take Warcaster for the advantage of Constitution saving throws, and also you can do Shocking Grasp with that. There's also things like the Lucky for the lucky points. You can go with the ability score improvement as well. On Dexterity, never a bad idea to get more armor class. And level 20 class feature, Sonic Body. You gain a Mastery Sonic Power, gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, and immunity to poison. You can be immune to disease or poisoned condition as well. So really good. Now, as for gear, the Hood of the Weave increases your spell save DC, making it easier for us to land our hits. You can also go with the Helmet of Arcane Acute if you want to stack that up, or the Haste Helm for the increased movement speed. Cloak of Protection puts our armor class up a little higher. Robe of the Weave, again, same deal. Range Ray gloves work very well here. Just gives you gives the target mental fatigue when you deal psychic damage, which is a lot of our attacks as well. Evasive Shoes increase our armor class. We can also go with the Hellrider Longbow, although I did mention you can use hand crossbows, but we do have good bonus action uses. This just allows you to apply the Psychic Strike on it. Amulet of Greater Health puts our health up to 263. Coruscation Ring. Whenever you deal spell damage, you can apply radiating orbs on the target. Ring of Protection, increase our armor class. And then also have the Staff of Spell Power, although you can swap that out for something Marka Heshker as well, which is a nice staff to have. So if you're using Marka Heshker, I'd recommend using the Bolts of Doom, because it can give you lightning charges. It also gives you the Chain Lightning spell, which is always nice to have. But what's nice about that is then we gain lightning charges when we cast spells. We have a lot of different options here for the Psychic Focus, like you increase your movement speed by 3 meters. There's a lot of options there depending on which ones we selected. We can apply the Bramble Skin to ourselves here, which is going to give us an increased armor class by 2, and attackers will get 2 piercing damage every time they attack us, so that's a nice little boost to our armor class. We can also use a Scroll of Mage Armor here to further boost up our armor class, which will take that up to 27. And then the Borrowed Time will give us additional 2 to our armor class, hasting ourselves, so that's also quite nice. And again, we got our Psychic Glamours here. So these are our transformations: Hook Horror, Ettercap, Redcap, Minotaur, Holophant, Cloaker, Blight, Spectator, and Orphan. So yeah, you got a few different attacks depending on which one that you shape yourself into. So going with the Cloaker here, we turn into this big monstrosity. We get a multi-attack here. And then once the health is depleted, we go back to our normal state. So this is actually really strong. And then we can also swap between forms too. Turning into an Orphan here is kind of funny. You look like your gears. Yeah, big boom. There we are. This gives us the Volatile Cluster, which throws grenades, Infernal Dagger, and Concussive Burst. So yeah, pretty cool. And the cool thing is you can turn invisible and then have your other teammates get into a fight, so they're currently going off against them. And then we can position ourselves to drop the Volatile Cluster on whoever is our biggest priority right now, Spellcaster. Boom, we're now in combat, and it didn't hit them for whatever reason. It used up our action. We'll try that again here. Boom, and it didn't hit them. We'll try, oh, the Volatile, there we go. They're gonna explode. Right, so yeah. We also got the Infernal Dagger here, which can poison the target, or Concussive Burst as different options. And we can always dismiss the Wild Shape too, if you don't want to go with that. So we also don't have a very high armor class. We do get the bonus from Haste, Dexterity, and Bramble Skin, but it works like a Wild Shape in Druid form. So this is almost like the Druidic version of the Mystic. It's kind of cool. And we still keep all of our Elite abilities while we're in our Wild Shape. All right, so our bombs are there set to explode, but yeah, no one is going to go there. So we're going to go out of our Wild Shape because we have a lot of really great spells that we can cast, and we're going to go... The Psychic Blast is one of our best skills, in all honesty. If you can line it up really well, it goes hard. Psychic Crush is also really good because it hits like a fireball here. It will hit your teammates, so that's something to keep in mind, but we can just blast away with something like that and stunning ourselves, but stunning everyone else and dropping them. They're also throwing the explosives at us. That's great. Love that. So just be careful when using that, because it can backfire heavily against you. Oh god, they really are throwing all those explosions. Future Sight, reroll an attack roll. Make that throw miss, and it's still a hit. And we keep getting hit with command, and we're unfortunately slowed, so there's absolutely nothing we can do. After getting hit with so many commands, we're just going to use a Psychic Blast to get them out of here. This is not going super smooth. Psychic Blast is extremely powerful. It's like the Mind Blast, the Lith ability, but much more powerful, as you can see there. Then we can always regain our health using the Mystic Recovery here, which is nice. We got one more target right here to go after, so we are slowed. We can't use reactions. You can always use the Daze, though, to incapacitate a target. There's so many good spells here. A Borrowed Time. We got the Surge of Action, using a bonus action to give herself another action, which is always nice. Mind Storm, evoke a storm of psychic energy. Can be upcast too to deal a ton of damage, so let's drop that down. Boom, finishing them off heavily. So yeah, that is the Mystic Order of the Faceless. It's got some fun abilities to change with the Psychic Glamour, although they may backfire like you saw there with the Orphan. Rest in peace, Minsk, and oh geez, oh god, what happened? Well, don't throw the bombs around, or else you'll end up with a cooked Shadowheart and a tweaking Minsk. But yeah, the Spectator form is pretty cool too, because you don't have the explosions to worry about. You get this thing, not sure why its eyes are closed, but it does have its wounding ray and this paralyzing ray like the normal one does. There's a lot of really cool forms here. They're better while you're leveling. It's like a Druid, but better in a lot of ways. You also got the Minotaur form there, which comes with all the Minotaur abilities too, so pretty cool. Let me know your thoughts though in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed, and we'll catch y'all in the next video.